Have you been doing everything right, but your blood sugar just won't budge? You cut the carbs, watch your portions, walk after meals, and yet your numbers stay high. It's frustrating. And for many people dealing with insulin resistance, it feels like a losing game. You're told to eat less and move more, but nobody talks about the deeper, hidden causes or the overlooked tools that could actually help. What if I told you that just 1 tablespoon a day of something sitting in your fridge right now could quietly help lower insulin resistance? Naturally, in this video, you'll discover the surprising science behind a simple ingredient that's not only affordable and accessible, but also clinically backed to reduce inflammation, improve glucose metabolism, and even help control appetite. And no, it's not cinnamon, vinegar, or some exotic herb you've never heard of. I'm here to bring you evidence-based, no-nonsense tools for real blood sugar control, without the hype or fluff. Whether you're newly diagnosed or have struggled for years, this channel is your partner in reclaiming your health, one smart step at a time. So let's break down why this humble tablespoon has been quietly working in the background, and why it might just be the game changer you've been missing. 1. Understanding insulin resistance. Now that we've teased this tablespoon miracle, let's take a step back and truly understand why insulin resistance is such a tricky, misunderstood enemy, and why something so simple might hold surprising power. Insulin resistance isn't just about eating too much sugar. In fact, many people with this condition are eating healthy and still seeing no progress. That's because insulin resistance goes way deeper. It's not just about carbs. It's about how your body responds to insulin. When your cells become numb to insulin signal, your pancreas is forced to produce more of it, leading to chronically high insulin levels. Over time, this triggers inflammation, oxidative stress, and even more resistance. A vicious cycle. What causes this breakdown? One major issue is poor fuel flexibility. Your body should be able to switch between burning glucose and fat. But when insulin is always high, that metabolic switch gets stuck. Add in a diet full of refined foods, chronic stress, poor sleep, and a lack of key nutrients, and suddenly your cells are inflamed, your mitochondria are sluggish, and blood sugar starts climbing, even if you're eating right. This is where that 1 tablespoon comes in. Believe it or not, mustard, especially high-quality types like stone ground or Dijon, contains powerful natural compounds like allyl isothiocyanate, AITC, that have anti-inflammation, antioxidant, and insulin-sensitizing effects. Studies suggest that AITC may help improve insulin sensitivity by reducing inflammation and oxidative stress at the cellular level. It also seems to enhance glucose uptake by encouraging your cells to respond more efficiently to insulin. But that's not all. Mustard also contains trace amounts of selenium, magnesium, and even omega-3 fatty acids, all of which support metabolic health and reduce systemic inflammation. And let's not forget, mustard is practically calorie-free, contains no sugar, and can be added to almost anything. People using just 1 tablespoon per day have reported steadier energy, fewer sugar crashes, and even gradual weight loss, without changing much else. It's not magic, it's simply helping your body work the way it's supposed to. And here's the beautiful part. This isn't about chasing expensive supplements or punishing diets. It's about relearning the forgotten wisdom of food. It's about small, intentional choices that give your body a chance to heal and reset. When you start to work with your biology rather than against it, even the tiniest shifts can spark momentum. Maybe for the first time, you'll stop blaming yourself and start believing that progress is actually possible. Because it is. So why didn't we know about this sooner? Because no one profits from telling you that something as humble as mustard could support your insulin response. There's no billion-dollar ad campaign behind it. But now you know, and that knowledge is power, especially when you use it. But before you reach for the bottle, there's one important rule you need to know. Because not all mustard is created equal. In the next section, I'll show you exactly which types to choose, how to use them effectively, and one huge mistake most people make that could ruin the benefits. 2. The science behind mustard's benefits. Now that you know how insulin resistance quietly disrupts your body's balance, let's take a closer look at why mustard, yes, the humble mustard, may be one of the most underrated tools in your metabolic toolkit. At first glance, it's just a condiment. But underneath the tangy flavor lies a compound called allyl isothiocyanate, AATC, found in mustard seeds. This active ingredient has caught the attention of researchers, and for good reason. One study published in Biochemical and Molecular Toxicology explored the effects of AITC in diabetic rats, and the results were eye-opening. The rodents that received AITC showed a significant improvement in their blood sugar control. But here's where it gets interesting. AITC helped increase something called GLUT2 transporters, proteins in the liver that are crucial for absorbing glucose and signaling the pancreas to release insulin properly. In people with insulin resistance, this process is often broken. GLT2 isn't doing its job, so sugar builds up in the blood, and insulin either floods the system or simply doesn't get recognized by the cells. AITC helps restore that broken link. And it doesn't stop there. This same compound also boosted the body's natural antioxidant capacity, meaning it helped neutralize harmful free radicals and reduce oxidative stress, one of the key drivers behind insulin resistance. Why does that matter? Because when oxidative stress goes unchecked, it damages your cells, interferes with insulin signaling, and leads to chronic inflammation. AITC helps stop that chain reaction. Even more compelling, a separate study published in Cellular and Molecular Medicine found that AITC had powerful anti-inflammatory effects. It reduced inflammation caused by toxic compounds like lipopolysaccharides, LPS, which are known to trigger immune responses that worsen insulin resistance. AITC didn't just suppress inflammation, it also helped activate NRF2, a master regulator of the body's own antioxidant defenses. That's like flipping on your body's internal cleanup system to reduce cellular stress and support healing from the inside out. And let's not forget mustard's effect on fuel partitioning, your body's ability to switch between burning sugar and burning fat. Insulin resistance traps you in sugar-burning mode, but with the help of AITC, cells can regain their ability to burn fat more efficiently. That means more energy, less fat storage, and a stronger, more flexible metabolism over time. When you put all this together, it's clear. Mustard isn't just a topping, it's a functional food. It's not here to replace medicine or cure diabetes overnight, but it can support the systems in your body that are struggling to keep up. And it does this naturally, affordably, and without side effects. You deserve to know that healing doesn't always have to be complicated or expensive. Sometimes the answer has been in your fridge all along, and it only takes a tablespoon a day to start shifting things in the right direction. But don't go squirting yellow mustard on everything just yet, because not all mustard is created equal. Up next, I'll break down exactly which types of mustard give you the real benefits, what ingredients to avoid, and how to actually use it in your daily routine for maximum impact. 3. Mustard's impact on appetite and sensory satisfaction. Let's now look at another surprising benefit of this 1 tablespoon trick. One that has less to do with blood sugar chemistry and more to do with something we all struggle with: appetite. When you're dealing with insulin resistance, hunger often feels confusing. You may eat a full meal yet still crave something sweet an hour later. Or maybe you find yourself constantly grazing even when you're not physically hungry. That's not a willpower problem. That's your hormones, especially insulin and leptin, sending mixed signals to your brain. But here's where mustard steps in with a secret advantage most people never see coming. Mustard's sharp, spicy kick comes from the compound allyl isothiocyanate, AITC, the same one we talked about earlier for its anti-inflammatory benefits. But AITC doesn't just help your cells. It also activates something called the TRPA1 receptor, a sensor in your body that responds to heat, spice, and other irritants. Think of it like a fire alarm for your nervous system. When TRPA1 is triggered, like when you eat something pungent such as mustard, it stimulates a process known as diet-induced thermogenesis. That's a fancy way of saying your body starts burning more energy just from digesting that food. It's the same effect you get when eating chili peppers or ginger. The result? A slight, natural increase in calorie burn without doing anything extra. But the real magic lies in what scientists call sensory satisfaction. That powerful, tangy taste sends strong signals to your brain that you've eaten something satisfying, not just in terms of calories, but in experience. You feel more full, more quickly, and you're less likely to overeat. Studies have shown that this heightened flavor experience can lead to lower food intake at meals, especially when it comes to refined carbs and sugar-laden snacks. Why? Because your brain feels complete. It's no longer chasing stimulation or fullness, and that's incredibly important for managing insulin resistance. Because every time you reduce your overall food intake, especially refined carbs, you're lowering the insulin burden on your body. Less insulin means your cells get a break. Inflammation goes down, sensitivity starts to rebuild. It's not about starving yourself. It's about finally feeling satisfied enough to stop chasing food all day. And mustard, despite being overlooked, does something powerful. It helps rewire your brain's reward system using real flavor, not fake sweetness. This is also why people who add just a little mustard to their meals, on vegetables, lean proteins, or even in homemade dressings, report feeling full faster and staying full longer. Over time, that can lead to effortless calorie reduction, better appetite control, and steady weight loss, all without strict dieting. It's a small shift, but it has a big ripple effect, because when food finally feels satisfying, when you're no longer at war with your cravings, you begin to experience something most people haven't felt in years. Peace. Peace with food, peace with your body, and finally, peace with your blood sugar. So, what's the catch? Well, not every mustard product is created equal. In fact, some store-bought versions may be sabotaging your efforts without you even knowing. In the next section, I'll show you how to spot the right kind of mustard, what ingredients to avoid like the plague, and how to actually use it to get real results. 4. Practical application of mustard. Now that you know why mustard can help regulate blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and curb appetite, the next question is, how do you actually use it to get results? This is where most people go wrong, because unfortunately, not all mustard is created equal. That classic yellow mustard in a plastic squeeze bottle? It may be convenient, but it often lacks the powerful compounds we've been talking about, especially aloes hyoscyonate, AITC, the key ingredient responsible for most of mustard's metabolic benefits. Why? Because many commercial brands heat process their mustard or strip it down with additives, sugar, and preservatives. This destroys the natural enzymes and beneficial compounds found in real mustard seeds. So what should you look for instead? Here's the simple rule. Go for real mustard made from whole seeds. Look for terms like stone ground, Dijon, whole grain, or organic mustard with ground seeds on the label. These versions typically preserve the AITC content and deliver the real metabolic effects we discussed earlier. Dijon mustard in particular often contains wine or vinegar, which adds to its metabolic benefits, especially for insulin sensitivity and digestion. When it comes to using mustard, it's not about slathering it on everything blindly. It's about adding just 1 tablespoon per day, intentionally. And thankfully, it's incredibly versatile. Stir it into salad dressings with olive oil, lemon juice, and herbs. Use it as a marinade base for chicken, tofu, or fish. Add it to a mashed avocado spread, hummus, or even scrambled eggs. Or simply use it as a flavorful dip for steamed veggies. But here's where things get really interesting. Mustard doesn't just stand alone. Pairing it with a moderate amount of healthy carbohydrates, like roasted sweet potato, lentils, or whole grains, can actually help your body process those carbs more efficiently. How? By enhancing glucose uptake and improving insulin signaling at the cellular level. That means you don't necessarily have to fear carbs forever. You just have to pair them wisely. This approach shifts the mindset from carbs are the enemy to how can I help my body handle carbs better? And mustard becomes part of that equation, not as a cure-all, but as a practical, flavorful tool in your everyday meals. It's the small habits used consistently that build the foundation for real change. And when a single tablespoon can boost metabolic function, calm inflammation, curb your cravings, and help your body respond to insulin more naturally, why wouldn't you try it? Because sometimes it's not about discovering a miracle, it's about finally using what's been in front of us all along. Now, before we wrap up, there's one last thing I want to give you. A simple 3-step mustard routine you can start using today, including my favorite combo for breakfast, lunch, and dinner to support insulin sensitivity all day long. Let's dive into that next. If this video helped you, make sure to leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future health content that really matters. And don't forget to check the description below. I've listed some trusted health products that I personally stand by. These are carefully selected to support your blood sugar and overall wellness. 5. Supporting gut health with probiotics. Now that we've explored how 1 tablespoon of mustard can help restore insulin sensitivity and regulate appetite, it's time to talk about another critical, yet often ignored piece of the puzzle: your gut. You see, even if you're eating the right foods, your gut bacteria might not be helping you. In fact, they could be making things worse. And no one tells you this when you're struggling with insulin resistance. Here's the short version. Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria that control inflammation, digestion, nutrient absorption, and immune balance. When this microbiome is out of balance, what we call dysbiosis, it sends inflammatory signals throughout your body. These signals can block insulin receptors, disrupt hormone communication, and keep your metabolism sluggish, no matter how clean your diet is. So what causes this gut imbalance? Years of processed food, artificial sweeteners, antibiotics, chronic stress, poor sleep, and even over-sanitizing your environment can wipe out the good bacteria in your digestive system. And when the good guys disappear, bad ones take over, promoting leaky gut, immune overreaction, and systemic inflammation. That's why mustard, as powerful as it is, can only take you so far if your gut health is neglected. But there's good news. You can fix this. One of the most promising tools we now have is something called a symbiotic, a combination of prebiotics, the fiber that feeds good bacteria, and probiotics, live bacteria that restore your microbiome. Together they work synergistically to rebuild the gut lining, calm inflammation, and restore microbial balance, which directly supports insulin sensitivity. In particular, spore-based or well-researched multi-strain probiotics have shown promise. Some formulas even go further by enhancing short-chain fatty acid production, like butyrate, which is known to improve gut barrier integrity and reduce blood sugar spikes. When combined with a simple anti-inflammatory ingredient like mustard, this becomes a powerful 1-2 punch. You're addressing the surface symptoms and the root causes at the same time. And here's the best part. Many people report better digestion, less bloating, fewer cravings, and even more stable energy within weeks of adding the right probiotic to their routine. The impact on blood sugar is not always immediate, but over time, reducing chronic gut inflammation gives your body the space to heal and respond better to insulin. This isn't about taking another pill forever. It's about creating the right internal environment where healing becomes possible. It's about treating the inside of your body the same way you've learned to care for the outside. You're not broken. You're just missing a few key pieces. And restoring your gut health might be one of the most powerful ways to finally feel in control again. Now, let's pull it all together. In the final section, I'll show you how to build a simple daily routine using mustard, probiotics, and real food that supports your metabolism from the inside out. No stress, no confusion, just real results. So here's the big picture. This isn't about chasing a miracle cure. It's about working with your body, not against it. Just 1 tablespoon of real high-quality mustard, like stone ground or Dijon, can support your insulin response in more ways than you'd ever expect. From improving glucose uptake to calming inflammation, enhancing antioxidant power, and even helping you feel full faster, mustard is more than just a condiment. It's a quiet ally. And when you combine it with gut-healing steps like adding a daily probiotic, you're not just managing symptoms, you're helping your body heal from the inside out. No extreme diets, no cutting out every carb, just simple, smart changes that your body can actually work with. Because real health isn't built in one big leap. It's built one small step at a time. And today, your step might be as simple as what's already in your fridge. If this video gave you a new way to think about insulin resistance, hit that subscribe button and stick with us. Talk to your doctor about adding mustard or probiotics into your plan. And hey, don't miss the next video in the description where I show you how to fix your morning routine to lower blood sugar naturally. You've got this. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching our video today. If you found this video helpful, please drop a like and subscribe button to support us. We truly appreciate you support, and it will motivate us to continue make more information video to help you all. Thank you, and goodbye.